The South Korean government is considering more relief money for people who've been impacted economically by the pandemic. Those funds would come from an extra budget, it says, which would be the second one this year. Finance Minister Hong Nam-ki says the government will use tax revenue and not debt to pay for it. Kim Jae-hee has this report.
The South Korean government is considering drawing up a second supplementary budget for this year and sixth since the start of the pandemic. Speaking at a meeting with financial experts on Friday, Finance Minister Hong Nam-ki said the government is reviewing another extra budget to support those hit hardest by COVID-19. Hong said the next budget will focus on disaster relief measures such as speedy vaccine rollouts, employment support plans, and financial aid for small businesses and the socially vulnerable. He also stressed the government will come up with preemptive measures to prevent inflation, increase household debt, and house prices from hampering the economic recovery.
South Korea needs to achieve an inclusive economic recovery and not a K-shaped recovery that signals polarization. In this sense, we need policy support to boost employment in the second half of the year and measures to strengthen social inclusion.
Hong also said the government will use tax revenues to finance the extra budget and that there will be no need to issue more bonds. South Korea collected more tax revenues than expected in the first quarter of this year. The country collected 88.5 trillion Korean won, or some $80 billion from January to March, up around $17 billion compared to a year earlier. More tax is expected to be collected throughout this year as the economy recovers from the pandemic. But one expert warns of potential risks that could rise from hasty use of tax revenues.
From an economic perspective, refraining from issuing more deficit-covering bonds is a right move. But South Korea generally has more tax revenue in the first half than the second half. Using too much of the tax revenue in the first half raises risks of financial pressure in the second half of the year.
South Korea has drawn up 5 rounds of disaster relief funds since the start of the pandemic last year. If it passes, this would be the second extra budget for the year and the 6th overall. Kim Jae-hee, Arirang News.